along here, and the ceremony was going on. I guess it's the young monks. They're doing something for them. So everybody's getting dressed up and doing their thing. All right, welcome guys. Today we're in Ayutthaya, and I found this interesting temple. Now getting here was just a walk. I walked from the train station over to here, and coming along the way I passed a little procession, and they were out there getting ready doing the novice monk thing, so they have a big party going on. But anyway, I'm at Wat Kudi Dao, which is a restored ruin, and it's like when it was built first, nobody really knows. But what they do know is that it's been restored. It was restored in like 1711 or something like that. And the site where it's at, they've done some excavation, and they found ruins that actually predate Ayutthaya. So there was a settlement in this area, and they built this temple. What they think is they built this temple on the ruins of another temple. And as you can see behind me, there's a massive wall, and it's a partially restored ruin, and it's inactive now, so it's just the ruin itself. And after it was restored in 1711, it was abandoned when the Burmese came in 1767 and captured Ayutthaya. So what you see now is just some ruins out here in the trees. So let's walk around and let's see what we see. So it has a two-story ordination hall right next to the wall itself, and you can see what it looks like. It's amazing. And then in here is the ruin. So we're on the back side, so I'll have to find a way in. They have this blocked off. But we'll go in here and we'll see this chetty and stuff next. And then they have, oh, another building over here. Oh, very nice. So you can see the wall that surrounds the ruin. And I believe it's 63 meters by 256 meters. So it is massive. And then some more brick here. So these guys were busy beavers building this building. This is really nice. Okay, so let's go up these steps and see what it looks like inside this main part. And it looks like there's another chetty over here. Here we go. So that's on the other side of the road. So that must be a different ruin. And then here, you see the pedestals of something. And then some of the plaster's still on the wall. This is not very safe here, so you have to be careful because there's no real rail. Okay, so this is not the way you come in. You can see inside. Wow, this is really a nice building. So let's go around to the other side. Here's the ruin. Wow, how cool is this? So you have a building there, and then it had the center chetty, and then it had some more buildings. Looks like the remains of a chetty that's fallen over, and then another building, and then this massive wall with the archways to get in there. This is really a nice ruin. This is the side of this building that's outside of the wall. Very nice. Wow. Okay, so it has a little lotus bud entrance. You can come in here, and this is cavernous. Wow. So there would have been an entrance on the ground floor, and then you would have been able to go up to there. And it says it was a two-story, and it looks like maybe they had some beams going across here. You can see kind of the notches in the wall. You see right above the windows and the door. And so this would have been roof supports, and they would have had a Buddha image probably right here. And then there would have been this little exit, and it would have had some more outside there. So you can see still some of the plaster on the walls. Wow, this is really nice. You'd have been able to come out here. So this is a little door that's about, I don't know, maybe 5 foot tall or so, if that. And then this would have been some more stuff here. Okay, and so you can see how they have the plaster around the bottom. So I would assume that there was something built that goes to these stairs, so you could go up into the second floor. So it looks like the tree is starting to grow in the side of this building. You can see how it's pushing some of the bricks apart with the roots, and then grew through the window and kind of taken over this corner. Hopefully it doesn't knock that wall down, because this is amazing. So this building is 14 meters by 30 meters. And it talks about how it was restored in one of the reign of one of the Ayutthaya kings. And a king, they believe, came here and inspected this building, and he stayed in this building. He was here for 2 months or so inspecting the restoration. And that was back in the early 1700s. And they say the art style of this building has actually got some Western style influence. In the 1700s, the Portuguese, the Dutch, there was all the Westerns that were already in Ayutthaya itself. Okay, so I misspoke about the wall. It's 104 meters by like 140 meters. And this temple closes at 4 o'clock. So wow, this is the center hall, or the center Buddhist area. So you have a building there. Oh wow, it still has the plaster on the top of the beams. And then this center chetty that's fallen off. So this is the part of the chetty right here next to it. So that would have been the bell at the very top. This is really, really cool. Yeah, I've never heard about this temple. I just found it pretty much at random today. So let's go inside this building. Let's see what it looks like. So they've boarded off some of the windows, or bricked off. So the Buddha must have been in the back side over here on the west side of this building. And so they would have put the bricks up on those windows to maybe keep the weather off the Buddha. Yeah. Okay, so here we go. So you can see the plaster that was on the wall. So it's a full 2 inches of plaster that was on the exterior of these bricks. And then you can see the roof supports. I mean, those things are 30 meters tall, and you can see the plaster where they have it up into the lotus bud. And you can see here, this part of the wall is collapsed down. So here's where the main Buddha sat. You can see what's left of some of these. And what's unfortunate is a lot of these ruins were looted after Ayutthaya was abandoned. So all the years these just sat out here in the jungle, people came and looted and took, you know, any valuable stuff away. And there was also some vandals that would come and they would decapitate these Buddhas for some reason. So I don't know why they would do that, but they would cut the heads off of these Buddhas. You can see the plaster work on that. Wow, this is really fun here. I knew nothing about this temple at all. Just purely a random chance. But there's so many ruins in Ayutthaya. I mean, they're just all over the place, you know, all around the island, on the island itself. And then you can see there's just a road that goes there, and then there's another temple that's an actual active temple over there. And you can see the gates here. So these gates are in fantastic condition. You can see all the plaster around the corners and the archways. Most of these arches at most of these temples have collapsed down, so it's nice to see that these are actually still standing. And they had a couple chetties over here. And the tops have fallen off those. So there's one of the tops right there next to that chetty behind that tree. And then looking into this, and you can see how they had it styled above the doors. So they had like a miniature jetty built into the brick above each of these entrances. Very nice. Okay, so this building itself is 15.5 meters by 27.8 meters. So they have the false windows. So I thought they blocked them off to keep the weather off, but they have a real window and a false window. They think that was to keep the support of the roof. So they put those in to actually be roof supports on the walls. And then this is bowed in the middle a little bit to resemble a ship. The junks had kind of a bowed middle. And that was a pretty common style in the late Ayutthaya period. And you can see they had some figures kind of in this molding right here across the bottom. But that's why this is bowed, if you see how it's kind of bowed in the middle. Very nice. This is what I was saying. There's a real window, there's a false window, and a real window and a false, so it alternates. And then you can see all the molding around the bottoms of those windows. And looking over towards the jetty, and then that two-story hall that's outside. All right, let's go look at that center jetty. Okay, so here's the main jetty, or the principal stupa. So this is a bell-shaped stupa, and it has Mon style. It's a Mon style stupa, and it's surrounded by 8 little stupas. And they say that this was added during the restoration by King Borommakot, and he's the king that restored this in the early 1700s. So you can still see that there is some molding still on the base. Let's climb up these steps. So here's the little, one of the 8 stupas that would have been all around it. So this is pretty nice. Got some grass and some plants and stuff growing on the base. And here's the stupa itself. So when this collapsed off, I don't know if it maybe just collapsed or if there was an earthquake. Because I know that this region gets some earthquakes. That's what destroyed the, like this, Chedi Luang and Chiang Mai, which used to be the tallest. You can see they put some supports here to keep it from falling over onto this wall. So it's all down there now. Oh, that's a shame. It'd be awesome to see that up. And you can see more of the ruins. They've actually just drug those over there and they haven't put them back on. Then you can see this other building. So this has a building east and west of the main stupa inside. So they would have had Buddha images here. You can see kind of the rubble of them. And then this would have been a stupa. And some more of it on this side. And you can see how they would have had all the decoration in it. You see it right there with the black moss. Or the black mold. And then the rail, oh, this would have had a rail coming up around. The top of the rail's gone, but some of the supports are still there. And then, oh, this one's in fairly decent shape. It's missing the top, but still pretty neat. And then here you can see how they would have had the molding around the bottom of that bell. And then they would have had the plaster. So they'd had about 2 to 3 inches of plaster on the whole stupa. So this is still in pretty good shape. So you can see what the plaster looked like. And this is around the very base of that stupa. So this has survived a little bit more than the rest of that. And you can see they would have had this decorated just like that. So that still survived pretty well. 300 plus years of this since this was built in 1711. All right, let's go back over there and let's look at that other building. Looks like a jetty over there is in nice shape. Most of it's still intact, except for the very top. All right, so this is that back building. And this one is 14 by 27 meters. And there would have been a Buddha image in here also. So part of the walls are intact. You can see the style of the building itself. And it's shaped like a boat, same as that other building. So it's bowed in the middle. Now let's go up inside and let's look at this one here. So they probably would have had an image, like a standing Buddha right there. And then you can see the doorways. So they have restored this with some fresher wood above the doors. And then they have quite a few of the small stone Buddha. These walls are gigantic also. Oh, this would have been a sight to see when it was built. So this has 3 rectangular windows on each side, and then it has doors on the east and the west side. So you would have came in from the west side, and the Buddha, this would have been a little area here to pray. and there would have been all of the Buddhas right here. And you can see the roof supports. These stone columns would have been coming up right there. And then they have the lotus bud windows. There's some pigeons at the top of that one now. And then if you look right outside, that would have been the top of the roof right there. And you would have seen the styling around all of that. This is really impressive. And here's a look at that column. And then you would see the molding there on that wall. The rest of it's all pretty much fallen off. So there would have been a standing Buddha here also. And then you can see off over in the horizon over there, this another Buddha, or another Chedi. That's not part of this temple, it's on the other side of a road. And then there's a working temple over there. Okay, so one more look around this temple here. So there's the one ordination hall. Here's the center Chedi, or center stupa. And then the ruins of it that's fallen off the top. And then that ordination hall that's over there to the west. And then you can see the inner wall, or what they call the low wall, and the parts of these Chedis that have fallen off. And then this two-story building that they believe that the king stayed in whenever he was here to supervise the renovation of this temple. So this is really, really cool. Wished I knew more about it, but nobody really does because they don't know when this was built. It just has kind of unknown, but they do believe it predates Ayutthaya, and it was built on the remains of another temple. All right, guys, so that finishes up our tour of Wat Kudee Dao, or the Monastery of the Star Dormitory. I think that's what it roughly translates into. Anyway, this is a really impressive temple, and it's just a couple kilometers away from the train station. So if you just wanted to walk over here like I did, you can take the train up to Ayutthaya, and it's a short walk over here. The entrance fee is free, so it's just open, and you can come and enjoy this old ruin. And like I said at the start of the video, nobody knows really when this temple was built, but it was restored in 1711 under one of the Ayutthaya kings. And so now it just sits out here, and it's in the weather, and it's in quite good condition for just sitting abandoned for as long as it has been. It was restored in 1711, and then it was abandoned when the Burmese came in 1767. So now it's just sitting out here for people to come and enjoy. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. I really enjoyed making this, and this one was a lot of fun. If you liked it, make sure you click like and subscribe to my channel. Share it on your social media with your friends or whatever. And if you want to know something more, leave me a comment down below. If you've been here, which I don't know, there's a few people, a few of the Thais are out walking around, but it's mainly just, you know, it's just quiet. But if you've been here before, or if you liked it, leave me a comment down below in the comment section. And if you want me to do something different, tell me also, and I'll go make a video of something else. And so as always, guys, remember, life is a journey, so enjoy.